Aluria is a story that has been in the back of my mind longer than any other story that I have published or worked on. I guess it's been 15 or 16 years since the character of Aluria came into my head. I was like any other young boy who liked to roleplay superheroes who could fight against the unknown, the injustice, and help save the world. And I've always had this desire to tell the story of Aluria in some sort of capacity, and I had always thought that it would be a great novel series where each novel told a different story of Aluria's fight against crime. And I just never could find a story that I was satisfied with that I would want to put on paper, because in the back of my mind I had told so many different stories and it had went in so many different directions that I didn't know how to start it off to where readers would enjoy it and then it would kick off this series. So after writing The One and releasing it in February of 2015, I had this desire to write something else. I had the writing fever and I wanted to write something that was bigger than just contemporary fiction. I wanted to write something that had the effect of Harry Potter or Game of Thrones, and I was sitting down just jotting different ideas, and Aluria kept popping into my head, and I decided, okay, let's give this another shot. So I started writing an outline and combining some of the earlier ideas that I had in my head, as well as taking some of the major plot lines that I had created throughout this story that I had been running through my head, and it turned out to be the first series or the first installment in the Aluria Adventures, which is called Aluria. And just so everybody knows, Aluria was not the original name for the main character, the superhero who allows this supernatural being, this supernatural spirit to inhabit his body and to produce this, I wouldn't say monster, but creature that had supernatural abilities to fly, to produce energy like beams from its mouth, and to fight crime. Many different names had come in and out of my head throughout its inception, but when I was producing the outline for Aluria, I wanted a name that was almost unknown, but also something that was unique and something that make readers ask, what is Aluria? Who is he? What is he capable of? So one of my close friends, somebody that I had asked to just throw different names at me, they proposed Aluria, and I sat and looked at it, and I was like, you know what, it seems like a name that would do what I hope it would accomplish. So during the writing of Aluria, I kept testing the name to see how it would play out in my mind and how other people might react to it, and it's a name that I think works very well with the character that I've created. So I would say in March or early April of 2015, I began the first stages of writing Aluria, and it was difficult because I first started writing nonfiction, and then I went into a contemporary fiction slash romantic fiction with The One. So I was working with a genre that I had never worked with before. although I had much experience watching Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter, and Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! So a lot of these shows and stories helped influence my writing of Aluria. And it was a lot of fun to talk about crime fighting and the supernatural, things that usually doesn't happen in the life of a normal person in today's society. So it was fun to just let my imagination roam wild and to write about things that has never occurred in my life. And it was a great experience. There were a lot of inspiration to the writing of Aluria. Ever since I first started thinking of the storyline when I was a child, I was inspired by Batman, this normal person that could do extraordinary things. Although, while the main character, Jason Connor, is just a normal person like you and me, his alter ego, Aluria, is something much more, something as powerful as maybe Superman or the Hulk. I was also inspired by the paranormal that occurred in Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Harry Potter, and then also the fantasy aspect of Game of Thrones. So I took aspects of each of those things that inspired me and applied it to the story, and it created a story that is not just science fiction, it's not just contemporary fiction, it's not paranormal fiction, it's a little bit of everything. And so that's why I think there is a little bit of everything that a reader will enjoy. I started writing the story when I began my job at Keller Williams Realty in Franklin, and I did most of the writing while I was employed there. I would write every night when I got home, breaks when I was taking lunch, when I went on vacation, any spare time that I got, I was writing the first half to the first 3/4 of the story. And then when I moved over to Southwestern Community College, I finished the story up. I know I was in Mexico when I wrote the last couple of chapters, and immediately after that I began the editing, working with my aunt and author, also co-founder of Moonshine Press, Eva McCall. Overall, I would say that it is a story that inspires hope, love, and just doing the right thing. It's a story that I think everybody will connect with. There are qualities about the characters, both good and bad, that I think everybody can relate to. And one aspect of the characters that I wanted to prove is that not everybody is 100% good or 100% bad. Even though Aluria is a typical good versus evil story, you will see the good characters that I have written that are mostly good, but they do let their tempers get the best of them, and they talk about doing things, or maybe even capable of doing things they wouldn't normally be capable of. And then there are the evil characters, the characters that I believe that are non-redeemable, but they also have human qualities that we could relate to, proving that we are all capable of doing anything. And that concept was so sick and twisted, and I loved every minute of writing about that. And I hope that when the readers read the story, they can read that darkness, but also the darkness that is apparent within everybody, and that everybody is capable of doing things that they normally wouldn't think they're capable of. I am so excited about having Aluria almost ready for release, and I'm so excited about doing this series, Journey to Aluria, and talking about the different characters, the different plot lines that I have in store for the story, and also talking about the actual cover of the book. I do want to talk about that with you because that's a story in itself. So make sure you tune into all my future videos, and I hope that you will go ahead and pre-order your copy of Aluria. Ebook copies are available on www.tylermcook.com/Aluria. Can't wait to talk to you about this exciting story that I have in store for you all.